Today we are working on a TORO Titan. It has a suspension system on it. So it's got that one spring there. This whole aluminum assembly here that the seat sits on, this whole aluminum assembly just floats. It's kind of neat. First time I worked on one of these. And then it's got these two springs in the back, and it just hinges back here and pivots right on that. There's two bolts, one there and one over there. I haven't figured out how I can get the seat to go forward to get it out of the way so you can work on stuff. I'm not sure if it will or not. I don't know. If it don't, that kind of sucks because it's so close to the motor here. Trying to get tools back there is the only thing to get back there is hand wrenches, which is just those two wrenches just to get the cover off. It's not too terribly bad, but until I can figure out how to flip it forward, which I can't really see it doing so because everything has attachment points, so that's one thing that's not so great. But anyway, the man brings it to me and says that he put diesel fuel in it and it quit running on him, and he thinks he's got a blown head gasket. And the reason why he thinks it has a blown head gasket is that he saw sparks coming out from the area of the head gasket. He said, I asked him if he drained the fuel tank. He said yes, he has drained the fuel tank and rinsed it out with fuel a couple of times. And everything is good to go. And according to his gauge there, it looks like he has about 3/4 of a tank of fuel in here. And it smells like gas to me. I cannot get it to start. I've never come across a motor that somebody put diesel in, but in my mind, I would like to think that it would just stop running. It wouldn't just start like destroying the motor, I wouldn't think. It probably lubricated a little bit, smoke a bit. So I'm just going by what he's saying. It's a fairly new mower. I think maybe a year or two old. Let me see if I can find a date on here. So on here it says, 2021 emissions. So it's right around that time period. So it's about 3 years old. So I'm going to dig into this thing. I did something I shouldn't have done, and I normally don't do. Is I kind of took his word for what's wrong with it, and I went ahead and ordered what he said that I needed to order, and I never do that, and I hope I don't regret it. But he is a good customer. I did what he asked for the most part. I don't think I'll have any issues if it doesn't turn out being that. But I want to get this cover off, and I'm going to start from the beginning, and I'm going to work my way through my diagnostics, and we'll see what we find out. And so let's get started. We're going to work on getting this top cover off. And basically it's a handful of bolts. You got a bolt on the side here, 2 bolts on the front up here, another bolt on the side, and I believe you got 1, 2, and 3 that need to come out also, I do believe. But maybe not. So let me get my 3/8 for the fuel pump, get it pulled out of my way. I did try to pull the air filter off and just shoot fuel down in there. And about the only thing I could get it to do is backfire real loud. This might be an opportunity for me to use my smoke machine. I can plug it into the spark plug hole and see where smoke might come out at. Looks like I need to know. Alright, so got the top cover off. This motor is the KT 745 Kohler motor. Here's some more of the Kohler specs. I believe it's also known as the 7000 series. Yep, so Kohler 7000 series Pro, 26 horsepower with the premium air filter, 747 cc's. So it's a pretty good size motor. This is why, guys, if this is what happened to this motor, always remember, keep your fuels in the right cans. And there's different color cans for different color fuels. Gas is red. I do believe diesel is yellow. And there is a blue out there. That might be like kerosene or something like that. But put the right fuel in the right color can so you'll visually know what's in that can instead of trying to remember, or maybe writing it on there with a marker and it fades away over time or whatever. Alright, so he said that he tried messing with it a little bit. Before he brought it to me, and I can tell that somebody has been in this motor because there's bolts missing around the perimeter of the top cover I just took off. So, and there is something I had noticed right away. It's kind of weird. And the only thing that I think could cause that is the gasket. He might be right. He might have the blown head gasket. And it looks like a blown head gasket on both sides. I'll show you what I'm looking at. So, I don't know how well you can see it, but you see right there, you see all that, what looks like fuzzy hairiness? That is the plastic. It feels like the plastic is, I don't know, melted. Well, if you take a look at the gasket, you see a piece of the gasket blown out right there. I'm going to assume there's more of that gasket blown out back there, and those hot gases were coming up, melting that plastic intake around the bolt. Same exact thing on this side, except it's melted a lot worse. It might need, we'll have to take a good look at that. We might be able to clean it up, but he might need a new intake also. So I'm still going to hook up my little smoke machine and see if we can't get smoke to come out around the head gasket. So we're going to pull the plugs out, and we're going to hook the smoke machine into where the plug will go, and we'll see what happens. I'll bring you back in a few minutes after I get things hooked up, and see how this machine works. All right, so I've taken out both spark plugs, and I got the spark plugs in my hand on the side of the engine that they came out of. So this side is nice and wet. This side is nice and dry with good color on it. Well, it's a light color, but it's yellowish. like some sort of contaminant, which in this case might have been the diesel. And this one's wet. I got my smoke machine sitting here. I got it hooked up to my battery, and this is the reason why I got the one that hooks up to a battery, is for this kind of stuff here. And also, this is the reason why I got the one that has the, which I guess they all hook up to a battery, I guess. But it's also the reason why I got the one with the internal pump. We're going to try to use this adapter here. That should fit up towards a spark plug hole and seal up nicely. We'll give it a shot. We'll see what it does. And it looks like it would just hook onto here like that and just slide up. So that's a nice little fit there. So yeah, that ought to work out. That ought to work out nicely. All right, so we'll go ahead and we'll turn the power on somewhere. There it is. And we'll turn the heat on. I've already got oil in it from the last time. I haven't hardly used it. And I feel air. I never knew how bad a baby oil stinks once you burn it. There we go. I didn't push the button good enough. Here we go, starting to generate smoke. There we go. Yep. We definitely have a blown head gasket. We know that our intake valve is open. But right there, you see it coming right up out of the head area. All right, so that was awesome. I guess if you, what you really should do is bring each cylinder up on top dead center. And that'd probably be the best thing to do. Let me get this side there. And yep, looks like the same thing. I'll get you in here. Yep, right about where the damage is on the intake is where the why it's doing that is right where the smoke is coming out. So awesome. We'll get that turned off. We'll get you guys hit back up here. So I do have a set of head gaskets coming. They're supposed to be here tomorrow. So when I get home from work, I can start tearing some of this stuff down now. And hopefully there's no other damage to anything on this motor. Hopefully we can clean up those melted areas on the intake. And hopefully they'll still seal up pretty good. And I believe on this type of intake, I think it has a rubber O-ring. That is supposed to come with the kit. So the kit will come with head gaskets, intake gaskets, exhaust gaskets, and I think maybe some washers and nuts I think come with it also. Because some of the stuff that I was seeing was showing that some of this stuff was studded, but this looks like a bolt here. All right, so there. We used the smoke machine. It let us know that we had bad head gaskets. So, awesome. The other way that you could do this that people would do before was they would do you You could do a compression test that will show you have loss, but it won't really show you where it's coming from. And then you can do a leak down test, and I also have that tool also. And you would bring it up on top dead center of that cylinder. You would run compressed air through it, and as long as the gauges showed about the same, everything is in good condition. And if they were way off and showed a significant leak, and you would have to trace down that leak. Sometimes the chart will give you an estimated area where it might be. Sometimes it don't. But let me get this smoke machine put away, and I'll bring you back in a few minutes and we'll start tearing this thing down.